In this chapter, we are going to learn about biology. From now onwards, I am going to start uploading daily a video for NEET examination where there is going to be me who is going to teach you physics, chemistry and biology. So I am going to start with biology because biology is the most important exam, the most important subject in your NEET examination, and whatever I am teaching you in this video is also very useful for your board examination. Okay, so even if you are preparing for CBSE or board examination, you can watch all these videos, but they are going to be little more in depth so that it will help you in your NEET exam. So since I am going to teach from NCERT, all the questions in NEET exam come majorly from NCERT. In case of biology, there is nothing else apart from NCERT. So let's start. Okay, so the first unit, that is diversity of the living world. First unit talks about the diversity. How our universe is completely diverse, right? Our living world is diverse. It has so many different types of organisms. So we are going to go explore this living world, the world around us. Do you want to go on this beautiful journey of exploring this world with me? So if you are ready, don't skip a single part of the video. Okay, so let's start. The first unit, that is first chapter in the first unit. The unit is diversity in living world, where you are going to learn firstly what is living world. Correct? What is this living world? Very important, right? So living world means what? Then you are going to learn about classification. How is our living world classified? How do you classify our living world? Next we are going to study about plant kingdom. Correct? So what is this plant kingdom? Next we are going to go to animals. Correct? Plants and animals. These are the two major classes. Most important. Apart from that, whatever is there you will learn in biological classification. But entirely about the living world you are going to learn in the first chapter, that is today. Okay? So let's get started. So first I will just introduce you to the unit. So biology is the science. Before you start any subject, you should know what is the subject. Correct? So in our case, biology is the science of life forms. Science is a subject which tells about something in depth, how something is working. Correct? So biology is a subject which talks about life forms and living processes. What are the different types of living processes? The living world comprises amazing diversity of living organisms. It has so many diverse types of living organisms. Early man could easily perceive the difference between inanimate matter and living organisms. The earlier man who used to exist, they could easily tell what is living and non-living. So early man defined inanimate matter, that is wind. In nature, what inanimate you define? Inanimate means what? Which is not living. So inanimate matter like wind, sea, fire, etc. all these are present in the atmosphere which are non-living. And they also classified some animals and plants. They also talked about some animals and plants. A common feature of inanimate and animate objects was the sense of awe and fear they evoke. By looking at something new, you get amazed, right? So same kind of amazing feeling they had when they looked at all these environment where they were present. Next, the description of living beings included human beings. Much later came to history societies. Human beings talked about society. Now, limited progress of biological knowledge. So anthropogenic view, anthropocentric societies which indulged in anthropocentric view of biology could register limited progress in biological knowledge. Next, systematic and monumental description of life forms came in. Systematically and monumentally they started describing the life. So they started identifying, they started naming, and they started classifying things. The biggest spin-off of such studies was recognition of sharing of similarities. Based on what all similarities are present, based on that they classified the things. Okay, So biodiversity, they started involving in conservation of biodiversity, because biodiversity means so many different types of living organisms are there. We have to protect all. We have to conserve our biodiversity. Correct? Diversity. There are so many diverse types of animals. So this is what diversity in the living world is going to be. It is the science of all life forms and living processes. Early human beings started to see the difference between living and non-living things, and also there was a systematic and monumental description of different life forms that came out, and identification, nomenclature, and identifying something, naming it, and classifying it. All this started, and then they also started going into similarities and conservation of biodiversity. So taxonomist perspective, you will learn in this future chapter, that is in this unit, from a taxonomist perspective. Taxonomist is a person who names the organisms, who studies organisms, classification. So from their perspective, from taxonomist perspective, you are going to learn about what are the things. Okay, so let's get started. You must know about the scientist called Ernest Mayr. He is very important. He was born in 1904 and he died in 2004. Correct? So he lived for 100 years. 1904 to 2004 is 100 years, right? So he lived for 100 years. Next, he was born on 5th July 1904 and he was born in Kempten, Germany. Ernest Mayr was born in 5th July 1904 in Kempten, Germany. He was Harvard University evolutionary biologist who used to study about evolution. Evolutionary biologist means these are the people who study biology, the evolution, how life form progressed. And he has been called the Darwin of 20th century because he is an evolutionary biologist. Correct? Darwin was the person who found out the theory of evolution. So he is also called the Darwin of 20th century because he is an evolutionary scientist. And he is one of the 100 greatest scientists. If you make a list of 100 greatest scientists, he will definitely be one among them. And Mayr joined Harvard Faculty of Arts and Sciences in 1953. He joined and he retired in 1975. For so many years he served. Then he was assuming the title of Alexander Agassiz Professor of Zoology Emeritus. So in Emeritus, Alexander Agassiz Professor of Zoology, he was known as with that title. Okay, and throughout his nearly 80-year career, his research spanned on ornithology, taxonomy, zoo geography, evolution, systematics, and the history and philosophy of biology. He almost single-handedly made origin of species, how the species originated, central question of biology. Origin of species he made as a central question, single-handedly. And he also pioneered the accepted definition of biological species. Today, what definition you have for species? Species means what? That currently accepted definition was given by whom? Ernest Mayr. Okay. Next, he had got the Triple Crown, 3 prizes: International Crafoord Prize, Balzan Prize, International Prize for Biology, and Crafoord Prize. Altogether, these 3 prizes he had got. That's why it is known as Triple Crown. It's like he's having 3 crowns, right? So that's why. And Mayr died in the age of 100 in 2004. Okay. Next, let's start the chapter. The living world. The world that we are seeing around us is so beautiful, right? If you go outside your home and if you look at the world, it's very beautiful. You see so many living things. You hear the sound of sparrows. You see dogs barking. You see crows. Different types of animals you see around you. So there are so many living organisms. Yes, I agree. In today's world, you are able to see only humans. Except humans, you don't see anything. Humans have populated the world so much. But along with it, there are so many other living things. Cockroach, lizard. So many. Wherever you look for, you will find so many different types of living organisms. So that makes our world very beautiful. We have oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts, hot springs, forests. All these make us deciduous forests, mountains as well. So these are the beauty of nature. That's why we go for trips, right? To observe this beauty. Then inside the molecule, if you go inside the cell, you can see the molecular traffic, how molecules are moving inside this small cell. That is what makes our nature, that is very beautiful, correct? Now we will be studying about diversity of the current world. Our living world is very diverse. Correct. Diverse means there are so many things. Firstly, in this chapter we are going to talk about what is living and what is not living. So we are going to discuss about two things that are what is life. This is a philosophical question. What is life is philosophical question. But what is living and what is not living, that we can study in this chapter, right? So that we are going to discuss. So if you look around, you can see variety of organisms. So they are going to be plants, insects, birds, pets, and other animals. And there are also several organisms that you cannot see with your naked eyes. You cannot see with your naked eye. Such organisms are also there. For example, if you were to visit a dense forest, you would probably see much larger type of organisms in it. Okay, so totally the number of species that have been defined are 1.7 to 1.8 million. This is a very important number. 1.7 to 1.8 million what species are there, different types of organisms are there. Okay, it's not just one human population, it's not just one organism. These are the different types we have, organisms that are identified. So this is known as biodiversity. This is known as biodiversity, or the number of types of organisms that are present on the earth. Now, since we have so many organisms, it becomes very important to name them. And the process of naming these organisms, I cannot give any organism whatever name I like, right? So based on features, we give some names to the organism, and that is known as nomenclature. So nomenclature is possible only when the organism is described correctly, and we only then we can know what name is attached to. This is known as identification. Identifying an organism. Once you know the features of organism, what kind of organism it is, identification is very important. When you look at an organism, first you should be able to identify it. What it looks like, what are its features, what it has. Then you will be able to name it. So this involves the process of identification. So scientists have established certain procedure for naming the organism, scientific procedure. Whatever you do, you require science in it, not simply naming it. So that scientific procedure, which is accepted by biologists all over the world, is, and we have criteria, certain criteria and principle which are provided in International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. When you want to name any organism, for plants, for example, if you want to name any plant, you need International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. We are going to follow that rules, what are mentioned there. And for animals, you are going to use International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. So whatever name you see for organism, not dog, cat, we have certain names. Mango is known as Mangifera indica, that's a name. How is that name given? By using International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. And in case of animals, like for example Musca domestica, that is named by International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. Okay, so these are the two codes that we are going to use. Description of any organism should enable the people in any part of the world to arrive at the same name. If I give description of the organism, people should be able to give same name. So based on description, I should give the name. Now, biologists follow universally accepted principles and code. So they give two names, generic name and specific epithet. For example, I told Mangifera indica. Correct. So for example, Mangifera indica, as you can see, these are two names for mango. For mango, this is the name Mangifera indica. It consists of two words, right? These are not two names. The name consists of two words. That is Mangifera and indica. So this one word Mangifera is known as generic name, and the indica means specific epithet. Okay, and so these are certain rules. There are different rules whenever you give a name and how do you write it. So the rules are, they are in Latin and they are written using italics. See, can you see the font? The font looks so different right here. Mangifera indica, it's not matching with the font that you see there with other words, because it's written in italic. If you go type in word, there you have italic option, right? Word becomes slightly crooked, cross. So this is the option. So the words are in Latin, the language used, language is Latin, but they are written in the font called italics. They are Latinized or derived from Latin, as I told you. The first word is biological name, represents the genus. So the first word, that is biological name, represents the genus, from which genus it is. While the second component denotes the specific epithet. Second component talks about the exact species, while the first word talks about the genus. Okay, genus is little higher category, whereas species is the exact name. There may be many mangiferas, for example, but indica is the type of mango which is found in India. Mangifera indica, that is a specific type of mango. Mangifera means mango, but in mango, what is a specific type of species? That is known as specific epithet. Got it? So these are the two names. So first rule is it has to be Latin or Latinized and written in italic font, and it should consist of two names, that is genus and specific epithet. Two words basically. Both words in biological name, if you write with hand rather than printing, if you print you can print in italics, but if you write in hand you need to underline them separately. For example, here Mangifera indica, if I had to underline, I would underline it like this, separately. Able to understand? So, and if they are printed in italics, as I told you. So the third rule is similar to the first rule. First and third rule talks about they are printed in italics, or if you write them in hand, you write them and underline them separately. That is the rule. These are the three rules. And fourth rule, there is one more rule. That is the first name, that is genus name, should always start with capital letter, because the first letter is very important, and the second letter will always start with small letter. As you can see in indica, it starts with a small alphabet, whereas Mangifera starts with a capital alphabet. Able to understand? So these are the four rules. What were the four rules? Let me tell you once again. The four rules are, it should be Latinized and printed in italics. Second rule tells us that, what was the second rule? Second rule tells us that it should consist of two names, two words, that is genus and specific epithet. Specific epithet talks about the exact species. Third rule tells us, if you write them with hand, make sure you underline them separately, or if you print them in italics. And the fourth rule tells us that start the first letter, that is a genus name, with a capital letter, whereas the specific epithet must start with a small letter. So the name of the author also sometimes may be written. For example, mango was discovered by Linnaeus, so we write Lin. If it was discovered by Rajat, I could have written Raj, Mangifera indica Raj, correct? But my name is not so important, right? Author's name is not important. Ultimately, the name of the species is very important. So author's name is written in normal font, but it starts with a capital letter because it's the name. Okay, so that is the rule. In abbreviated, see, Linnaeus' entire name is not written, just Lin is written, to show that it was discovered by Linnaeus. Mango, the first name was given by Linnaeus, for example. So that is the meaning. Next, living organisms. So classifying, it's impossible to study all living organisms, right? So it is necessary to divide them into different classes. Just like I cannot remember all the students of the school. In school there are 500 students, 600 students, 1000 students. Is it possible to remember all the students, teach them separately? So I divide them into classes based on their age and based on the knowledge level. I put them in different classes. Same way, here it is very difficult for me to study all the organisms at once. So I put them in separate classes, and this process is known as classification. Classification means I am dividing them into groups, different groups. So this is known as, first classification for example is primary school, then you have middle school, then you have high school. Then in primary you have classes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4, 5, 6 is middle I think, and 8, 9, 10 is high school. So that way you are dividing them, correct? So if you go in the class, then you have sections A, B, C. So entire process is known as classification. Same way here, any organism, you are classifying in different category. For example, here I will tell you, for example, we can easily see plants and animals, or dogs, cats, insects, all these we can classify easily. For example, when you think of a dog, what do you think? All of us think of dogs only, right? Cats will not come to our mind. So, if I tell you to think of Alsatians rather than dog, if I tell you to think of Alsatian, one specific type of dog will come. Not all dogs then, correct? If I tell you dog, then you will not think of a cat. If I tell Alsatian, then you will not think of all dogs, you will think of a specific type of dog. So these are classes. Dogs means all dogs. Alsatian means specific type of dog. Animals means dog, cat, everything. Correct? So mammals means all mammals which are having body hair, all that external ears, body hair, all these are the characteristics that come. So cats, mammals, wheat, rice, plants, animals, these are different categories, are convenient category. So the scientific term, scientific name of category is known as taxa. For example, scientific name of categories in which you divide into students was classes, right? Same way here, the scientific name for that is taxa. Okay? So plants, animals, dogs, cats, all these belong to different taxa. And this process of putting them in classes is known as taxonomy. Because we are classifying them into different taxa, this process is known as taxonomy. So characterization, dividing something into characters, identification, identifying them, classification, classifying them, nomenclature. This is the process to taxonomy. If you want to do taxonomy, suppose you want to do taxonomy, what is the first thing you will do? Characterization, identify the characters. I found a new organism. It has ears, it has nose, it has skin, it has body hair. This is characterization. Next step is, I will try to identify it. What it might be. Is it a cockroach? It is a mosquito? It is a mammal? What is it? So I will try to identify it. Then I will classify it. I will put it in certain class. Does it look like a mammal? After I identified it, does it look like a mammal, similar to a mammal? Then I will put it in mammal classification. Does it fall into chordates, non-chordates, all these different types? Plants, is it a plant? So we'll put it in plant kingdom. So this is called as classification. Then nomenclature. Finally I will give it a name. If it is something new, I will give a name at the end. So first characterize it, then identify it, then classify it, then finally name it. This is the entire process of taxonomy. Correct? So taxonomy is not something new. Human beings have always been interested in knowing about different kinds of organisms, particularly with reference to their own use. First they used to name organisms based on their use. This organism is food, this is not food. This organism is used for clothing, shelter, all that. Plants, for example. Correct? So next, human beings were since long not only interested in knowing more about different kinds of organisms and their diversities, but also in the relationships among them. They were also interested in knowing about the relationships that they have inside them. And the branch of study was referred to as systematics. Systematics is derived from Latin word for systema, which means arrangement of organisms. I am arranging different organisms based on my use, based on anything. Taxonomy was what? Taxonomy was naming, putting them into different classes. Here, this entire process classifying them, this comes in with subject. Taxonomy is not, taxonomy is the process. What is the subject? Systematics. Because you are putting something systematically arranging it. It is known as systematics. From Latin word it has come. Linnaeus used the word systema naturae in his title publication first time, and the scope of systematics was later enlarged to include identification, nomenclature and classification, whatever I told you. Okay, all these three things are there in systematics. Now, classification. What are taxonomic categories? What are the different types of taxonomic categories? There are many categories, right? So classification is not single step. It involves lot of steps. And each step represents a rank or category. Since a category is part of overall taxonomic arrangement, taxonomic category and all categories together constitute taxonomic hierarchy. Lot of categories like that make taxonomic hierarchy, and each category is refer to the unit of classification, and it is called rank, commonly known as taxon. Each rank, each type of category is known as a taxon. So taxonomic hierarchy can be included with example. For example, insects are a group of organisms which share similar features of 3 pair of jointed legs. So insects means what? They have 6 legs. That is 3 pair of jointed. Their legs are jointed. Correct? 2 jointed legs. 3 pair. So this hierarchy, the way we are going to arrange them, is known as, and each category is known as rank. Category further denotes rank. Category means rank. So remember, each rank or taxon, so each taxon in fact represents unit of classification. Our cell is the unit of life, basic. Same way, the basic step, basic part of classification is taxon. You are putting something into taxa or rank. You are giving rank to something, class 1, class 2. How you give in school, same way you are giving rank, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, or this classification, that classification. So that is different ranks you are dividing it into. So taxonomic studies for all organisms have led to development of different categories like kingdom, phylum, division, phylum or division, class, order, family, genus, species. Okay, so what you need to know is highest position is the kingdom. School, for example, there are different types of school. There are different schools, right? Same way there are different kingdoms. Plant kingdom, animal kingdom, Monera, Protista, Plantae, fungi. Fungi is also there. Monera, Protista, fungi, Plantae, Animalia. These are 5 kingdoms. Kingdom means mainly the organisms can be divided into 5 different kingdoms. Main. Now under kingdoms, if you go down in kingdom, you have something known as phylum. For example, phylum Chordata, phylum Mammalia. Different types you have. Mammalia is class, sorry. So phylums you have. Plant kingdom you have different phylums. Animal kingdom you have different phylum. So inside kingdom what do you have? Phylum. Inside phylum what do you have? Many classes. When you talk about plant, it is known as division, not phylum. Okay, remember that. Animals. Inside animals you have phylum. Inside plants you have division. Okay, so kingdom is the main step. Kingdom. Inside kingdoms you have different types of phylum or division. Inside that you have classes. Different classes. And inside classes you have different order. Inside order you have different families. Inside family you have different genus. And inside genus you have different species. Final step is the final species. So species, lot of species together is called as genus. Lot of genus together is called as family. Lot of families together is called as class. Order. A lot of orders together is known as class. And lot of class together is known as phylum or division. And lot of phylum together is known as kingdom. So many, 7 basically. Sorry, 5. Basically we are dividing into 5, not 7. So now the question you may ask is, how do we classify them? So first let's talk about species. Species means group of individuals, like group of dogs. Correct? Alsatian is a different type of certain breed of dog. Group of such dogs, Alsatians, they are known as. German Shepherd is a breed of dog. Such a group of different types of dogs which look in a particular way are known as German Shepherd. So that is species. For example, Mangifera indica. Solanum tuberosum means potato. Mangifera indica is mango. Panthera leo, lion. So here indica, tuberosum and leo are specific type of that plant. That is known as specific epithet. That is a genus, okay? So Mangifera, Solanum, Panthera, all these are genera which represent little higher level. Specific epithet is little lower level. But lot of them, particular type, if you want to know exactly what it is, that is told by specific epithet. Genus while it is little higher. Genera. Correct. So each genus, that is why I told you here. Species is the lowest level, little higher than that is genus. So genus and species name together constitutes nomenclature. Next. For example, Panthera is another specific epithet called tigris. Solanum includes nigrum also. Panthera leo I told you, right? But Panthera tigris is also there. Leo is lion, tigris is tiger. Both come under Panthera. So Solanum includes nigrum also, brinjal, whereas it includes tuberosum also, melangina also. So different types it includes. So human beings belong to sapiens, Homo sapien. That is different, a particular type in which human beings come. So scientific name for humans. See, make sure all scientific names are written in italics. Here you can see, right, it's printed in italics. And they're Latin names. And it starts with capital letter and ends with small letter. Now genus. Genus talks about lot of related species which has more characteristics in common than species. More than species, there are more common similar features in genus. Now we can say that genera aggregates closely related species. Lot of closely related species if you put. For example, potato and brinjal are two different species, but both belong to Solanum because both have the plants, potato plant and brinjal plant, both have some similarities. Whereas lion and leopard and tiger, leopard is Panthera pardus. Okay, Panthera leo, Panthera pardus, Panthera tigris, all are Panthera, all are similar, correct? Leopard, lion, tiger, all are similar looking. So they come under same genus, but species is different. Now, with several common features of the genus Panthera. The genus refers to genus Felis, includes cats. So, genus differs from, see, Panthera genus is different from cat genus. They are from same family, remember. These are from same family. Lion, tiger, cat are from same family. Lion and cat are from same family but not same genus. Genus of cat is what? Felis. Okay. Family. Now in family if you see, Felis also comes. That is known as family Felidae. Lion, tiger, that is Panthera and Felis. Both are put in which family? Felidae. Panthera is also Felidae family. Cat is also Felidae family. Though its genus is different, the family is same. Okay. So based on vegetative and reproductive features of plant, we organize them into three groups. Solanum, Petunia, Dhatura. All these are different types of genera placed in family Solanaceae. So these different genus, Solanum, Petunia, Dhatura, these are different types of genus which are put in the family Solanaceae. Among animals, I told you, Panthera, lion, tiger, cat, all those are put in Felidae. Now order. Next step is order. In order you have lots of families that will be present in order. So genus and families are based on number of similar characteristics. Generally order or other higher taxonomic categories are classified based on aggregate characters. So they include lot of families with similar characteristics. Plant families like Convallaceae, Solanaceae are included in the order Polynomials. So different types of plant families are included in polynomials. While animal order Carnivora includes Felidae and Canidae. Canidae is for dog. Dogs and cats both are put in same order, that is Carnivora, because both are carnivorous animals, right? So they are put in Carnivora. While Convallaceae, Solanaceae are put in the order Polymonials because they are polymonials type of plants. You will learn all this in detail in next chapters. For now you just remember this, what has what in it. Okay, so what all I told you? First I told you about different types of species. There you learned about Mangifera indica, Felis domestica, Homo sapiens, all these are species. Then you learned about genus. Like genus for humans is Homo. Panthera, Leo. Panthera is the genus. Next we learned about what? Family. Okay, Panthera, Leo, Panthera tigris, Panthera, they all were same. What? Genus. But they are put in, but cat also, cat is Felidae. But cat and Panthera, Felidae and Felis. Felis and the Panthera are in Felidae family. So they are same family. Correct? Next we learned about order. Next now we are going to learn about class. Lot of them together are put in same class. So this includes lot of related orders. For example, Primata comprising of monkey, gorilla and gibbon. These are placed in Mammalia. Monkey, gorilla, gibbon, all are mammals. Monkey is also mammal, gorilla is also mammal, gibbon is also mammal. While carnivora includes animals tiger, cat, dog, so they are also mammals. So class Mammalia has other orders too. It has lot of orders. Now phylum. Classes comprising like fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds along with mammals constitute next higher category called phylum. These are based on presence of notochord or dorsal hollow neural system. Do they have notochord? Do they have dorsal hollow neural system? Based on them, we have divided into phylum. So phylum, in case of plants, classes with different or characteristics are called division. Okay, so when you talk about lot of classes of animals together, that's called phylum. Lot of classes of plants together is known as division. Okay, next kingdom. Kingdoms, you know, kingdoms are plant kingdom, animal kingdom, fungi, all those different types of kingdom you are going to learn. So here this table is very important. You can see this table. So the man, his name is Homo sapien. Housefly means Musca domestica. Mango means Mangifera indica. Wheat means Triticum aestivum. Correct? Man, Homo sapien, Musca domestica for housefly, Mangifera indica, wheat. This is Triticum. Man comes in Homo genus. Genus of the man is Homo. Genus of the housefly is Musca. Mango is Mangifera, Triticum. Now, lot of other genuses also come, but man is from the genus, from the family Hominidae. Which family I am from? Hominidae. Which family is housefly from? Muscidae. Which family is mango from? Anacardiaceae. Which family is wheat from? Poaceae. Okay, so family ends with AE. Whenever you see the name ending with AE, that means it's a family. Correct? Hominidae, Muscidae, Anacardiaceae, AE, it is ending with. Poaceae, AE, it is ending with. Next, order is Primata, Dipteria, Sapindales, Poales in case of wheat. Correct? Man is Primata. We are primates, right? So we are from the order Primata. Housefly is from Dipteria, Sapindales, and all this. Class is Mammalia, Insecta, Dicotyledonea, Monocotyledonea. Wheat is monocot, so Monocotyledonea. Mango is dicot, so Dicotyledonea. Housefly is insect, so Insecta. Man is mammal, so he is from the class Mammalia. Phylum and division is man is chordate. We have a spinal cord, right? So chordate. Housefly doesn't have spinal cord. It is from Arthropoda, insect, and mango is angiosperm, and wheat is also angiosperm. Correct? So angiosperm. So summary of this chapter is the living world is rich in variety, and millions of plants and animals have been identified and described, but large number of them still remain unknown. The very range of organisms in terms of size, color, habitat, physiological and morphological features make us defining characteristics of living organisms. Based on size, color, habitat, physiological and morphological features, we make us to define organisms in living world. In order to facilitate the study of different kinds and diverse organisms, biologists have evolved certain rules and principles for identifying, nomenclature and classification of organisms. The branch of knowledge dealing with these aspects is known as taxonomy, as I told you. The taxonomic studies of various plants and animals are useful in agriculture, forestry, industry and knowledge of biological resources and their biodiversity. The basics of taxonomic like identification, naming and classification are universally evolved in international codes, like International Code for Botanical Nomenclature for animals, plants, International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, zoo, that is for animals. ICZN, International Code for Zoological Nomenclature, International Code for Botanical Nomenclature, B. Both together means International Code for Biological Nomenclature. Both are biology, right? This is also biology, this is also biology, but this is botany. So International Code for Botanical Nomenclature. This is animals, International Code for Zoological Nomenclature. Based on resemblances and distinct differences, we name them. We first identify them and we align them into specific and biological name comprising of two words as per binomial nomenclature, what I told you. Organism represents and occupies a place in position in classification. These are different types of categories, ranks that are generally represented, taxonomic categories or taxa. All categories together constitute taxonomic hierarchy. All the categories together make taxonomic hierarchy. What is the taxonomic hierarchy I told you? Tell me. So species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, kingdom. Species, genus, order, species, genus, family. Species, genus, family. order, class, phylum, or division. Okay, so SGFO, CPK, SGFO, CPK. Species, family, species, genus, family, order. Species, genus, family, order, class, phylum, or division, kingdom. These are the ways it goes. Hope you understood this lecture. If you enjoyed this lecture and want more such videos where I explain you without me missing any video, want me to teach the entire biology, entire physics and entire chemistry, hope you will comment down below. I will definitely read all the comments, and any kind of doubts that you have, I will definitely clear it. Thank you very much. Have a very good day.